Hello guys and welcome back to Wheels Maniac, and today we are driving an all new car from BMW, which is the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe, the 220i M Sport variant to be precise. And a big shout out to Munich Motors Raipur for providing us with the car, and for the further details you can head to the description of the video. So guys, without wasting any further time, let's begin the review of this beautiful BMW. So guys, let's begin with the detailed vlog of the car, and this is the key of the car, which gets M color on it, and it gets 4 buttons, and this is about the hazard light. This is to open the boot, lock the car and unlock the car. And just look how fabulous this car looks, and the sportiest stance of this car. Isn't that look just fab indeed? And from the first you will notice this phenomenal headlight, which are the Bmw Laser Lights. Not the laser lights, these are the Bmw LEDs, but they are just fab indeed. The DRLs, which also turns out to be the indicator, and these are multi-beam LED lamps, of course, and give a wonderful throw of around. And these are the fog lamps down here, and gets a gloss black treatment around them, and vents over here, and these are functional vents, of course. And this vent is also functional like that. Some air curtains over there. The design from the front looks just fab indeed, and like the grille is also not overdone, and it's of the perfect size, and it doesn't indulge into the front bumper, so it looks quite nice. And it's not the case like the other BMW cars in which the grills open and close for the aerodynamic efficiency. It's not the case over here. These are open grills only, and gets these chrome or the silver treatment done on the slats, and down here on the bumper gets very aggressive creases on it. Like you can see over here, it looks quite aggressive. And this car is available in 2 variants. One is the Sport variant, and another is the M Sport variant. And the difference is that, of course, there are only aesthetic changes in the car and nothing else as such. And of course, it gets front parking sensor, a humongous BMW logo over here. And from the side, if you let me show you the car from the side. So this is how the car looks, and of course, being named a Grand Coupe, it resembles the coupe design, like the back goes up and the roof comes down and gives a coupe design. And BMW has a lot of coupe cars in the line of sale, like the X6, the X4, this 2 Series Gran Coupe, the 6 Series Coupe. And over here the door handles, none of the door handle gets request sensor. And over here is the M Sport logo, and these are phenomenal M Sport wheels, but they are very impractical in the Indian roads. And the size of these tires are 225, 45, 17-inch wheels. And yeah, the profile is quite low, like you can see it is just a 45 profile, and the wheels are just fab, so you have to be a bit careful driving it around, because you can't afford to damage these expensive and beautiful rims of the car. And they also give a quite a nice view of the disc inside, and these are the brake caliper. They don't get any BMW logo on it. And these are the rear wheels. The size of these tires are 225, 45, 17, same as that of front. And the tire size is same, cause the car is a front wheel drive, of course. And a sort of a mud flap over here. And so this is how it looks from the back. And from the back, it won't be the best car in the segment, but yeah, it looks quite nice indeed. Like the tail lamps are quite a bit shrinked, and these are the L-shaped tail lamps, and these are all LED, of course, the reverse lamp, and it also gets a fog lamp in it only. And these 2 exhausts at the back just on your face, and of course they are the real exhaust of the car. And over here it says 220i, and when the car was launched, it only got a diesel engine, but after that it also comes with a petrol engine. And if we talk about the specs of the car, let me show you the engine bay first. So this is how you open the engine bay. Just pull this 2 times and the engine bay will open, and you don't have to struggle for it anymore. So you don't have to find any buttons down there. So this is how it opens. Of course, you get insulation over here, and in the idle speeds the engine is extremely silent. And this is a 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol motor, which produces 190 horsepower at 4000 rpm and 400 newton meter of torque at just 1750 rpm. So there's a power throughout the rev range of the car, and it's from quite a lower rpm, which is 1750 rpm. That's quite nice. and its claim mileage is nearly 18 kilometer per liter, but it returned nearly 13 to 14 kilometers per liter in real life, and it gets a 50 liter fuel tank capacity on it. And these are the outside rear view mirror, and it again get a gloss black treatment on it with the indicator over here, and also a puddle lamp which projects the BMW logo at the night time. And from the side you will see the side skid plate gets quite a nice treatment over here like this, and it also gets a gloss black treatment on it, and the window surround also gets a gloss black treatment. And these are frameless door. Let me open the windows and show you how fab they look. So just look how fab the car looks with this frameless doors. Just look at the stance of the car, like it looks like it will fly anytime, but it can't, cause it just a simple premium mass market car, so it doesn't have much power as such. But yeah, for a car costing this money, the looks are just dope indeed. So let's close the doors, and of course these are frameless doors like I told you, and overall the quality and everything is just fab. Yeah, it gets one touch up and down I guess, but it's not working right now, don't know why. And of course the rear doors are also frameless, but the window doesn't go all the way down in the rear doors. The rear windows are child lock right now, so it won't be open. So let's go to the driver's door and let me turn off the car. Car turns off. So the overall the looks and everything of the car are just fab indeed. And on the top you will see it gets a big glass panel which is for the panoramic roof, as well as a shark fin antenna. Of course BMW discovered that, so they will get into BMW cars. It gets a gloss black treatment around the logo, and it gets a diffuser sort of treatment. I guess that's a working diffuser, because the way it's designed is quite functional. And over here are some fake vents. I don't know why they have given that, but aesthetically they look quite nice. So let's open the boot of the car, and here's the reverse parking camera, and this is the boot of the car, and it's quite a practical one. It's a 430 liter boot, and below it gets a spare wheel over here, with again some storage, and a first aid kit over here with a 12-volt socket. And over here are the levers to recline the front seat of the car. Same is the case over here, levers to recline the front seat, and the second row of seat recline in a 40-20-40 format, so that's quite practical. And it also gets a light over here, and overall the boot is quite practical indeed. And being a coupe, it should have got that feature in which the boot opens with the rear windscreen, but that's not the case over here. The boot opens separately and the rear screen didn't. So if the boot should have been opened with the rear windscreen, so that would be look much better and would be much practical indeed. So let's get to the rear seat, cause it's a coupe, so we have to check out that the rear seat gets space or not. So this is how the doors open. The doors are quite small and tiny, and over here gets a pattern, and this is not a regular pattern. It gets ambient lighting in it, the speaker over here, some storage space, and overall the material, everything is just fab of quality indeed. And the rear seat doesn't get much space as such. The seat looks quite nice, but the angle is also quite upright. But it gets 3 headrests, but the center headrest is just of no use, cause it gets a humongous hump over here, and that seat is placed all the way back. Like you can see, when the seats are placed all the way back, so there are no space at all. And over here the AC vents, there are twin USB-C charging sockets, and if you place the seats in a decent place direction, so the space at the back is a bit adequate, but the legroom is in a bit shortage, cause my legs are just touching the seat underflow. And over here get some storage, scooped out seat back, and it's quite airy over here. If you open the sunroof also, so it becomes much more airy. And it also gets an armrest over here. Let me show that to you. So it gets the armrest over here, so it with twin cup holders, and quite, so it's best for 2 person to sit in the back. And if you're planning to buy a car which will be chauffeur driven and you will be sitting at the back, so this is not the pick for you. This is just a driver centric car. So let's get to the driver's seat of the car without any fuss. And the exhaust note of the car is also quite nice indeed, so I will make you listen to that once. So it doesn't get keyless go, so every time you have to pull out the key, unlock the car and then get in. And over here it says M on it, like that. And these are the pedals of the car. It gets a proper dead pedal as well, and the front seat gets electronic adjust, and as well as a adjustment for the lumbar support, which is of course a manual one. And the driver seat also get 2 memory functions in it, which is also quite nice, and settings for the lumbar, and this is for the under thigh support, sorry. And over here is the handle, the lock and lock the car, window controls over here. And these are the headlamp controls of the car. So right now it's in auto, and these are the AC vents. And what the quality and everything in this car is just fabs. Just close the door, and the door shuts with a proper third. Over here's the engine start stop button. So the car comes to life, and let me rev it a bit for you. So being a petrol car, the exhaust note is also quite great. So let's get off the windows. And over here the seating position of this car is quite low. Yeah, it's quite low, and you are sit quite close to the ground as well. Let me get the seat a bit up to get a better view of what's around. So like I've got my seat up and getting a better view indeed. And this is the BMW steering wheel, which is an M Sport variant, so it get a M color over here. And the controls of the steering wheel, and the steering wheel quite nice to hold on to. And of course, being a BMW, it must be a great handler, but we don't know because we are not doing the driving vlog. And this is the all new BMW Instrument Cluster, which I also have shown you in the BMW 3 Series vlog, and you can click on top over here to watch the vlog of the BMW 320 LD, the Grand Limousine version. And for me, I personally like the Instrument Cluster. Many people are having very much controversy about the cluster, but personally I like the cluster. And there's just a problem that the tachometer needle in the sports mode is quite small. Like if we get into the comfort, the needles becomes a bit larger, but in the sports mode is quite a small bar over there. So that's a bit of the issue. And otherwise it's a quite a nice and quite a easy to read and browse menu indeed. Not as that of the Jaguar Land Rover cars. In the Jaguar Land Rover car, it's quite complex to browse through, and of course in the Audi it's the best. And I haven't experienced the Mercedes one till now, so I can't give any opinions on that. And this is the steering wheel, and the horn also is quite loud. And over here the control for the audio system and the cruise control, and over here the control for the Instrument Cluster, and gets many features. And right now it's showing the map in the center, and on the right side you can browse through different features like media, radio, and there are many features. And you can also control the volume from here, voice commands. And these are the paddle shifters of the car, and these are metal ones. And these are the control for the wipers. Of course you get automatic wipers, and these are the control for the high beam, low beam, and indicators. And from pressing this BC button you can change the right side view. Like right now it's showing power and torque meter and G-force meter, not connected, that's for the media. Now it's showing park, sport, and this is for the eco level indicator, like the energy reserve meter, and again the individual and the different trip datas. And it gets steady tail lights all around, and it's quite a nice and readable unit. And this is the fab BMW Idrive system, yeah, and it's a fab unit. You can control this unit in a multitude of ways. Like firstly you can control it with touch, secondly you can control it with the Idrive controller, thirdly with voice, and also gestures like this. You can turn up the volume. So right now no source is connected. Let me get into media and radio. So like this you can turn up and down the volume of the car. So let me get that off. So it's a bit not useful every time, but yeah, it's quite a nice thing to show off on your friends when you're with them. And so let me get back into home. Of course you can use the touch controls, and it's a fab unit indeed. But for me personally, this is the best way to use an iDrive, by the iDrive wheel. So let's get into car, and we're into settings. And over here like this you will see how fab, when you get to the different menus, the car also rotate with it. So in general settings and driving modes, so it gets different drive modes as well. So it's Sports, Eco Pro, and I will show you afterwards. It's for the exterior lighting, driving assistance, but right now we get it interior lighting. It also gets ambient lighting in it, and I guess let me turn on the lights, then you will be able to see the lighting here, but in the daytime it's not visible. I will try to put a shot over here of the ambient lighting visible. So it gets only 6 color, which is just 58 color less I guess from the Mercedes one, but the colors are quite nice, and you will see over here where it shows the ambient lighting. So let's get into lilac and let's get back, and it gets many features over here as well. Like you can also turn off the ambient lighting, and this for the climate control, displays, exterior lighting, and many features over here. And let me show you a very nice thing. Hey BMW, sport displays.
Sport displays.
So yeah,
continue using manual control.
Yeah, also the voice commands work in it. So this is the sport display, the best thing of BMW car. So it will show you the real-time torque and as well as the G-force meter over there. And over here are the control for the air conditioning, and it shows the display over here. From here you can choose the different temperatures, and over here is the control for the audio system only, and this is a fab volume control which gets a null finish on it, and different radios for here. And over here gets a phone holder which also turns out to be the wireless charging pad, and a USB socket over here which is a regular USB, and twin cup holders along with a charging socket. And this is the center console the gear lever and different drive modes over here. Like this button is for traction control. So like this, if you press it once, the traction gets into the sports mode. Yeah, this is a sports traction, and if you keep it pressed, it completely turns off. So like DSC off, so it completely off. Like when you press it once, so it gets into sport. So let's keep it to on. And over here is the control for the parking sensor. This is the auto engine start stop. So let's turn off. It's on. Yeah, now it's off. And over here is the engine start stop button, and there's a different drive modes like sport, comfort, and eco. And the different drive modes, the cluster also changes. So right now it's in sport, and it also shows over here, and now it's in comfort, and now it's in Eco Pro. So Eco Pro, the tachometer goes and the energy efficient meter comes. So let's be into the comfort mode for the moment. And over here it also gets auto hold feature, and there's the electronic parking brake of the car. So let's get it down, and this is the Idrive Control, and this is the beautiful gear knob of the car. So let me show you the reverse parking cameras. Yeah, it doesn't get a 360 view, but it only gets a reverse parking camera. But whenever you get something nearby, the parking sensor dance all the way around, and of course it gets the front parking sensors too in it. And overall it's a quite nice, and so this is how you get into drive. And it also gets a sport mode, and if you press the pedals or use a Triptronic, it gets into the manual mode. So right now the gear knob is placed over here, so when I press the park button, it comes back to its place. So that's so cool indeed. Yeah, and it also gets a touch recognition on the iDrive controller, which I forgot to tell you. And overall it gets a gloss black treatment done all around, and over here also it gets ambient lighting on it, like I told you. And the material used in is just phenomenal, the soft touch materials, and it gets a 220 volt speaker system, and it's quite a nice audio output as well. And this is the center armrest, which is quite wide indeed, and it gets storage space underneath here with a USB-C charging socket. And here's the glove box of the car, which is again quite a deep one, and again it gets light in it, and it's I guess not a cool glove box as such. And the seats of the car are just fab indeed. The front seat, I guess this car is just made for the front two passengers. The rear passengers will be very much tight indeed over here, and the front seats are just fab. The bowstrings, the support, everything is just fab. And over here are the inside rear view, the mirror, as well as a light over here. So there's a light and the mirror, and same is the case over there, a light again with the, then there's the inside rear view mirror which gets auto dimming in it. And over here it gets a ton of lights. And let me open the sunroof of the car. So it gets a panoramic roof, and it opens all the way till here, the glass open all the way till there. So the sunshade is open, and you have to press 2 times to open the glass completely, so it will stop over there. And if I press once, it will open till there. and it's quite a airy feel now inside the cabin, and it looks fab indeed. So let's close it, and the feel inside the cabin has been got better a million times by the sunroof. And overall the quality and these finish on the air vent, the null finish, and it's just fab indeed. And overall it's a quite a feature loaded car, and I guess there is none of the feature that's missing, and it's only a thing which is missing in this car, which is the BMW DNA of being a rear wheel drive, and this car is a front wheel drive, so that's a bit of a gripe in it. But yeah, the front wheel drive also has many of its pros, like it's much more cheaper, much more lighter, more fuel efficient, and less maintenance also, and easy to drive. The main thing is that easy to drive, and because in the BMW cars, due to the excessive power, many times the rear slide out, so it becomes a bit tricky, but in this car that would not be an issue. And overall this is quite a practical car, but for it's best for the front two passengers, not for the rear ones. So guys, this was Shubhodeep Banerjee today reviewing the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe, the 220i variant, which is the petrol one. So let's see you guys in another video really soon. So don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends. Let's see you guys in another video really soon. Till then, bye bye and have a nice day.